Captain Jarek Harlan stood at the observation deck of the Aurora Vanguard, staring at the swirling clouds of Terra Nova below. The planet was young, still forming cities and settlements, but it already held promise. Its oceans shimmered with blue-green hues, and its forests stretched far into the horizon. Jarek had traveled across light years of space, but nothing compared to the awe of seeing a new world, alive with possibility. Beside him, Leah Harlan, his new partner and a diplomat, from the human colonies, leaned against the railing. She had a quiet elegance that drew attention without effort. Her brown eyes sparkled as they reflected Terra Nova's twin suns. Jarek smiled, feeling a mix of pride and nervous anticipation. He had married Leah only weeks ago, and now they were tasked with helping humans and alien species establish harmony on this fledgling planet. "Beautiful, isn't it?" Leah whispered. "It is," Jarek said, his voice low. "But beauty comes with responsibility." He turned to her. "We're here to help, not just explore." Leah nodded, her expression serious. Then she hesitated, and for a moment, Jarek thought, she was distracted. "Jarek," she said finally, her tone careful. "I need to tell you something. Something unusual." He raised an eyebrow. "Unusual how?" "My sister, Ilara. She's been living alone on a research station," Leah explained. "She's brilliant, but she's never really experienced human society. I want you to help her adapt." Jarek blinked. He had expected many challenges, alien negotiations, planetary politics, but this was personal. "You mean, introduce her to social life?" Leah gave a small nod. "Yes, I know it's a lot to ask, but I believe you're the right person. You have patience and you understand people. I trust you." Jarek ran a hand over his face. "Leah, I didn't expect family duties on my first mission." "It's not just a family duty," Leah said softly. "It's about helping her learn, grow, and thrive. She's brilliant, but isolated. She needs experience with humans, with society, and I can't do it alone." Jarek exhaled. He understood now. It wasn't about matchmaking or trivial lessons. It was about preparing Ilara to live among humans and aliens alike, to understand culture, diplomacy, and teamwork. And in this early phase of Terra Nova, those skills could be vital. "You're right," he said finally. "I'll do it." 2 days later, Jarek, Leah, and a small crew landed at the Terra Nova settlement station. The station was modest but efficiently designed, with glass corridors overlooking the planet's forests and rivers. Scientists, settlers, and diplomats moved about, working to transform the raw land into a thriving colony. Ilara arrived in a transport pod shortly after them. Jarek had never met her before. When the doors slid open, a young woman stepped out, her movements careful and deliberate. Her dark hair was tied back neatly, and her bright eyes scanned the station with curiosity and caution. She seemed alert, intelligent but hesitant, as if every movement needed permission. "Hello," Jarek said, stepping forward. "I'm Captain Jarek Harlan. Leah has told me a lot about you." Ilara paused, then smiled slightly. "I've heard of you too," she said. Her voice was soft but firm. "I'm curious about humans, about how you live, think, and interact." "That's a good start," Jarek said. "Curiosity is the first step to understanding. Don't worry, we'll take it slow." The first day was small and simple. Jarek showed Ilara the station's living quarters, the communal dining hall, and the observation deck. He introduced her to a few staff members. Ilara observed everything quietly, taking notes mentally and sometimes on a small digital pad she carried. At dinner, the three sat together in the dining hall. Humans and a few alien delegates shared the space, discussing plans and strategies for the settlement. Ilara watched the interactions carefully, noting gestures, tone, and even humor. She laughed softly when someone made a joke about the colony's early failures, but the laugh was reserved, still learning the rhythm of human social cues. "You're doing fine," Jarek said quietly to her. "Social skills are like any other ability. Practice makes perfect, Ilara nodded. I know. I want to fit in. I want to understand. I don't want to feel separate. Jarek felt a pang of empathy. Humans had always faced challenges, both on Earth and in the stars. To teach someone to navigate human society was to share a part of themselves, empathy, patience, and guidance. This was why humans had survived so well across galaxies. They were adaptable, compassionate, and willing to mentor others. Over the next few days, Jarek organized small lessons for Ilara. They began with simple interactions: how to greet humans, how to understand personal space, and how to participate in casual conversation. He also showed her the station's communication network, teaching her about human humor, customs, and etiquette. Ilara was quick to learn but cautious. She asked questions that revealed her sharp mind. Why do humans value eye contact? Or, why is humor often sarcastic? Jarek found himself impressed. She wasn't just learning, she was analyzing, processing, and improving on the lessons. Leah watched quietly, a mixture of pride and relief on her face. She's learning faster than I expected, she said one evening. She is, Jarek agreed. Humans have a way of passing knowledge naturally. Experience is part of survival. Teaching it. That's how we remain strong, even in new worlds. One evening, as the twin suns set and painted the sky in shades of orange and violet, Jarek stood with Ilara on the observation deck. Do you think I'll ever truly belong? She asked, her voice almost lost in the wind. Jarek looked at her, then at the horizon. Belonging isn't just about following rules. It's about understanding, caring, and contributing. You're already on that path. It will take time, but you're human, or part of it, and humans are survivors. You'll belong because you're learning how to be part of something bigger. Ilara smiled softly, a mix of hope and determination in her eyes. Jarek knew this was only the beginning. Terra Nova was vast, full of unknowns, but humans had a way of adapting and teaching. And in this new chapter of exploration, humanity's greatest strength was not its technology nor its weapons, but its ability to mentor, nurture, and guide even the most isolated minds toward understanding. The stars above Terra Nova shimmered, like scattered diamonds, a promise of adventure and growth. And for the first time, Ilara felt she could reach them. Not alone, but guided by the humans who had welcomed her into their world. The morning sun glimmered across Terra Nova's forests, casting long shadows over the settlement. Captain Jarek Harlan walked with Ilara through the main corridors of the station, showing her the research labs, training centers, and living quarters. She moved cautiously, observing every detail. Her curiosity was insatiable, and Jarek realized that teaching her would be as much about patience as skill. Why do humans always work in groups? Ilara asked suddenly, breaking her quiet observation. Jarek smiled. Because humans believe in cooperation. We know that working together solves problems faster. We also learn from each other, support each other. Alone, survival is possible, but limited. Together it becomes stronger. Ilara nodded slowly. I see. On my station we rarely interacted. I did all my tasks alone. It was efficient, but lonely. That's part of learning too, Jarek said. You'll see the benefits of teamwork soon. As they walked, they entered the communal hall, where a mix of humans and aliens gathered for breakfast. The aliens were varied, some tall and spindly, others short with broad shoulders, but all shared a common curiosity about humans. They watched Ilara as she entered, whispering among themselves. Jarek noticed their stares and decided to make introductions. This is Ilara, he said, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. She's learning about human culture and society. Please welcome her. The aliens bowed politely, some mimicking the human gestures they had learned. Ilara returned, their gestures cautiously. She was shy, yet her intelligence shone through in the careful way she analyzed every interaction. Good morning, she said softly. I look forward to learning from all of you. The aliens seemed impressed by her politeness. One of them, A tall being with silver skin named Valen stepped forward. "We will help you, Ilara. Observation is only part of understanding. Experience comes from participation." Jarek nodded. "Exactly. And I'll be guiding her too. Humans are good at adapting and teaching others to adapt." After breakfast, Jarek arranged Ilara's first social experience, interacting with a small team responsible for repairing the settlement's energy conduits. The team was mostly human, with a few aliens assisting. They worked efficiently, communicating with gestures, short words, and occasional humor. Ilara hesitated at first, unsure how to join. Jarek whispered, "Start by observing," then offered a help. Ilara watched for a few minutes, then stepped forward. "I can assist with the diagnostics," she said. Her voice was calm, confident, but not overbearing. The team leader, a human named Mara, smiled. "Great, come here. We'll show you." Ilara followed, and soon she was taking readings, noting patterns, and even suggesting minor adjustments. Jarek observed quietly. She was learning fast, not just human behavior, but teamwork itself. After the exercise, Jarek and Ilara walked along a glass corridor overlooking the forests. "You did well," he said. "Not only technically, but socially. Humans value cooperation, communication, and initiative. You showed all three." Ilara looked thoughtful. "It feels strange, helping others. On my station I was alone, efficient, but there was no satisfaction in it. Here, it feels different." The next morning, Terra Nova's settlement hummed with activity. Jarek led Ilara through a bustling corridor filled with engineers, scientists, and alien delegates. Today she would face her first real test, participating in a social experiment, designed to teach humans and aliens how to cooperate effectively. Jarek paused at the central hall, where a holographic map displayed the settlement's layout. "This exercise isn't about skill alone," he explained. "It's about interaction, teamwork, and problem-solving. You'll work with both humans and aliens. Pay attention, communicate, and don't be afraid to ask questions." Ilara nodded, her face focused. "I understand. I will do my best." The group was diverse. Humans, a few silver-skinned Valens, a small number of Miko, and several others, whose species Jarek could barely name. Each had different communication styles, ways of thinking, and problem-solving methods. Ilara looked at them, a mix of apprehension and curiosity on her face. "Welcome, everyone," Jarek began. "You will complete 3 tasks today. First, repair a damaged communication relay. Second, plan an energy distribution schedule for the colony. Third, present your plan to the group. Each team will include both humans and aliens. Ilara will be on my team." The group murmured and organized themselves. Ilara hesitated, unsure how to start. Jarek leaned toward her. "Begin by listening. Observe their methods, then offer suggestions. Humans lead with empathy but always respect others' ideas." The first task began immediately. The team gathered around a damaged relay, wires exposed, sparks flickering occasionally. Humans and aliens argued about the best approach. Some aliens suggested unconventional methods that could risk the relay, while humans preferred step-by-step logic. Ilara watched carefully, noting the body language, tone, and timing of each participant. "Maybe we can combine both approaches," she said softly. "Follow the humans' step-by-step method but allow for the aliens' modifications in later testing. This way, both ideas are respected, and the relay is safe." Jarek glanced at her, impressed. The team nodded, agreeing to her compromise. Working together, they repaired the relay faster than any other group. "Good observation," Jarek said quietly. "That's human problem-solving, finding a balance between logic and empathy. You're starting to understand it." Ilara smiled, feeling a small surge of confidence. Next, the team moved to the energy distribution task. Terra Nova's settlement relied on limited energy resources, and the challenge was to allocate them efficiently across the colony. "Divide responsibilities," Jarek instructed. "Humans tend to organize hierarchically but remain flexible. Aliens have unique patterns of thinking. Work together." Ilara stepped forward. We should first gather data from each sector, she suggested. Then create a schedule that prioritizes critical systems but allows for adjustments. Her team members nodded. Valen, the silver-skinned alien, looked intrigued. Your method is logical, he said. It respects efficiency and adaptability. Humans have a way of considering consequences that benefits all. Ilara felt proud. She realized humans were not only cooperative but also deeply strategic. Their adaptability and willingness to listen to others' ideas was remarkable. Hours passed, and the team worked tirelessly. Disagreements arose, especially between human engineers who wanted immediate results and aliens who preferred theoretical models. Ilara mediated, translating intentions and suggesting compromises. Slowly, the team learned to value each other's strengths. By the time they finished, a workable energy distribution plan was ready. Jarek clapped her on the shoulder. Excellent. You've learned more than just the task. You've learned human leadership, how to guide, negotiate, and inspire. That's rare and important. The final task was the presentation. Each team had to explain their plan to the settlement council. Ilara's team went first. Standing in front of humans and aliens, she spoke clearly, confidently summarizing the relay repair and energy schedule. When a Miko delegate asked a question about efficiency, Ilara paused. She thought carefully, then responded, We designed the plan to balance speed and safety. Adjustments can be made as data comes in. This way, we respect both human and alien approaches. The room fell silent for a moment, then erupted in applause. Jarek grinned. Ilara had done it. She had not only learned human methods but applied them successfully to a diverse group. Afterward, in a quiet corridor, Jarek said, You've seen the human way in action. Adaptation, compromise, communication, empathy. These aren't just skills. They're survival tools. Humans survive because we teach and learn from each other. And today, you applied them. Ilara looked thoughtful. It felt natural, challenging, but natural. I can see why humans succeed across the galaxy. It's not just technology, it's how you think and work together. You're learning fast, Jarek said. Faster than I expected. That evening, Leah joined them at the observation deck. The twin suns had set, leaving a brilliant twilight across the settlement. Ilara did well, Leah said softly. Better than I hoped. She did, Jarek agreed. Humans are adaptable, but she has intelligence and curiosity. That combination is powerful. She's starting to see what humans do best. Ilara smiled, looking at the stars. I feel capable. I understand humans better now. I can work with them, guide them, and even help them. Jarek nodded. Yes, and that's the essence of being human. Guiding, mentoring, teaching. Not just surviving, but helping others thrive. That's why humans are special in the galaxy. It's not strength alone, it's adaptability, empathy, and intelligence combined. Ilara's eyes sparkled. Then I want to continue learning. I want to contribute, not just follow. That's good, Jarek said. You'll face challenges, misunderstandings, and failures, but every experience will teach you something. Humans grow through experience, and you're part of that growth now. As the night settled over Terra Nova, Jarek felt a deep sense of pride. Ilara's journey was only beginning, but she had already embraced the human spirit, curiosity, resilience, and empathy. And in the growing light of Terra Nova, he saw a future where humans, and those they guided, would shape a galaxy full of cooperation, understanding, and hope. The morning air on Terra Nova was crisp, carrying the faint scent of pine-like forests and the ozone tang of early machinery. Captain Jarek Harlan strode through the settlement with a purposeful rhythm, Ilara walking closely beside him. Today was supposed to be another day of lessons and practice, but the planet had other plans. A loud alarm suddenly rang throughout the colony. Red warning lights flashed along the corridors, and an automated voice announced, Sector 7, ecological breach detected. Evacuate immediately. Jarek's heart tightened. Sector 7 was home to a vital water reservoir and part of the settlement's hydroelectric grid. If the damage spread, it could cripple the colony. He immediately activated his communicator. All teams report status. Leah, take the secondary coordination center. Ilara, stay with me. We need to assess and manage the situation. Ilara's eyes widened, but she nodded. I'm ready, she said, her voice calm despite the urgency. The trio rushed toward the sector. Outside the station, they saw a massive sinkhole opening near the reservoir. Water poured into the crater, threatening to flood nearby energy conduits. Alien settlers were panicking, unsure of how to react. Humans were directing evacuations, but chaos lingered. Jarek, what do we do first? Ilara asked. Observe, then act, he said. This is what humans do. Analyze the problem, organize the team, and execute a solution. Jarek quickly divided the rescuers into groups. He assigned Leah to manage evacuations, while he focused on preventing damage to the energy conduits. Ilara hesitated, but Jarek placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. You'll help coordinate with the aliens. Use what you've learned. Communication, empathy, and logic. Remember, humans succeed because we guide and unite others. Ilara nodded and ran to speak with a group of aliens who looked uncertain and frightened. We need to focus on saving the reservoir first, she instructed, her voice steady. I know this is new for you, but follow my directions and we can prevent disaster. The aliens paused, exchanging glances. Then, inspired by her confidence, they followed her lead. Ilara calmly translated human instructions into terms the aliens could understand, adjusting gestures and tone to fit their culture. Slowly, the team began working together, filling sandbags and redirecting water flow. Jarek focused on the energy conduits. Sparks flew, and smoke rose from damaged circuits. He moved quickly, repairing broken connections while directing humans and aliens alike. The situation was tense, but he kept his voice steady, offering guidance to inexperienced volunteers. Ilara moved from team to team, checking for mistakes, encouraging proper technique, and mediating disputes. She remembered Jarek's lessons on leadership and communication, patience, clarity, and empathy. By mid-morning, the panic had turned into organized action. Humans and aliens worked together, combining their unique skills to stabilize the crisis. Jarek glanced at her. You're doing well. Keep focusing, guiding, and encouraging. Humans thrive by teaching others, even under pressure. You're learning. Quickly. Ilara nodded, feeling a growing sense of competence. For the first time, she realized that understanding human behavior wasn't just about etiquette or conversation. It was about leadership, strategy, and emotional intelligence. Hours passed and the teams worked tirelessly. Finally, the water flow was redirected. The morning sun of Terra Nova cast a warm glow over the settlement. After the recent crisis, the colony was slowly returning to normal. Humans and aliens worked side by side, repairing minor damages and organizing new projects. Captain Jarek. Harlan walked through the central hub with Ilara and Leah, his eyes scanning the busy corridors. Ilara, today is a special day, Jarek said, glancing at her. The council has requested your presence. Ilara raised an eyebrow. My presence? But I only helped coordinate the teams during the crisis. I wasn't the leader. That's exactly why they want you, Leah said, smiling. They saw your communication, mediation, and problem-solving skills. They want to recognize your contribution officially. Ilara's eyes widened. Recognition was not something she sought, but a small spark of pride appeared. I don't know what to say. You don't need to say anything, Jarek replied. Just be yourself. The council chamber was a spacious dome filled with light from the twin suns. Humans, Valens, Miko, and representatives from other species were seated, watching the newcomers with interest. Ilara stepped forward cautiously, feeling a mix of nerves and excitement. The council leader, a tall human named Marin, spoke first. Today, Terra Nova faced a challenge that tested our skills and our cooperation. Among those who stood out was Ilara, a newcomer who guided mixed teams of humans and aliens through critical tasks. Her ability to communicate, mediate, and lead ensured the safety of our settlement. Ilara felt her cheeks warm. She looked at Jarek, who nodded encouragingly. Marin continued, "We recognize Ilara's contribution and welcome her as an official member of Terra Nova's advisory teams. Her insight, empathy, and courage exemplify the best of humanity and cooperation across species." Applause echoed through the chamber. Ilara felt a rush of emotion. For the first time, she realized that learning humans was more than understanding customs. It was about thinking, acting, and connecting like them. After the ceremony, Jarek and Leah walked with Ilara along the observation deck. The planet's forests stretched endlessly beneath them, bathed in sunlight. "You did well today," Jarek said. "Recognition isn't just about achievement. It's about understanding your own growth and contribution." Ilara nodded. "I feel different. Stronger. Not just physically, but mentally. I understand humans better, and I feel capable of making decisions, guiding others, and adapting to challenges." "That's exactly what makes humans exceptional," Jarek said. "We adapt, teach, and guide. We grow by sharing knowledge and experience. Your journey reflects that human strength." Leah smiled, placing a hand on Ilara's shoulder. "You've become part of our world. Terra Nova isn't just a planet, it's a place where humans and aliens learn from each other. You're now a bridge between both worlds." Ilara absorbed the words, feeling a sense of belonging she had never known. Over the next few days, Ilara took on more responsibilities. She coordinated small projects, mediated disputes between alien and human teams, and assisted in planning community activities. Each task was a new challenge, but she approached them with determination and thoughtfulness. Jarek observed quietly. She was learning not only human skills, but also human resilience. Even when mistakes were made, she adapted quickly. She analyzed situations, considered multiple perspectives, and guided others toward compromise. One afternoon, a disagreement arose between two alien teams over resource allocation. Voices grew heated and tempers flared. Ilara stepped in, her voice calm but firm. "Stop," she said. "We all want the same goal, a stable and thriving settlement. Let's listen to each other, combine ideas, and find a solution that works for everyone." The aliens paused, surprised by her authority and reasoning. Slowly, they followed her guidance, working together to resolve the dispute. Jarek watched silently, impressed. "This is leadership," he whispered to Leah. "Humans survive because we teach, guide, and unite, and she's learning it faster than many." As days passed, Ilara's confidence grew. She began teaching younger settlers some basic human customs, etiquette, and problem-solving strategies. Her ability to mediate and guide others impressed even the more experienced humans. One evening, Jarek found her overlooking the forest, watching the twin suns set. "You've changed," he said, "not just in skill, but in understanding. You see humans not just as a species, but as thinkers, leaders, and mentors." Ilara nodded. "I understand now. Humans survive because we connect, teach, and adapt. It's not just about intelligence or technology, it's about cooperation, empathy, and experience." Jarek smiled. "Exactly. That's what makes humans exceptional. And now you're part of that legacy." Ilara's eyes sparkled. "I want to continue learning. I want to help humans and aliens work together, build this settlement, and grow stronger." "And you will," Jarek said, "because humans are capable of guiding, inspiring, and uniting. And you, Ilara, are becoming a part of that strength." The next morning, Terra Nova held a small festival to celebrate the recovery from the crisis and the growth of the settlement. Humans and aliens gathered, sharing food, stories, and music. Ilara participated eagerly, explaining human games and customs to curious alien children. Jarek and Leah watched her, pride swelling in their hearts. Ilara had not only learned humans' ways, but had begun to embody them. She had grown from a shy, isolated individual into a capable leader, a bridge between cultures, and a testament to human adaptability and resilience. As the festival lights glimmered across Terra Nova, Jarek realized something profound. Humans weren't just explorers or survivors. They were teachers, mentors, and unifiers. Their greatest power was not in technology or weapons, but in their ability to guide and grow others. Alara had learned that power, and she would carry it forward, shaping the settlement and inspiring others. The twin suns set behind the mountains, casting long shadows across Terra Nova, and in that quiet glow the human spirit, resilient, compassionate, and exceptional, shone brightly through a young woman who had once been uncertain but now embodied the best of humanity. The morning light spilled over Terra Nova's forests, illuminating the settlement in shades of gold and green. Captain Jarek, Harlan walked along the observation deck, Leah beside him, and Alara trailing with a thoughtful expression. The colony had grown steadily, and the events of the past weeks had left a deep mark on everyone. Alara, Jarek said, turning to her, "You've come a long way since your arrival. How do you feel?" Alara paused, gazing at the forests stretching to the horizon. "I feel part of something larger. I understand humans better now, not just your customs, but your thinking, your values, your way of solving problems and guiding others. I feel capable of contributing, not just observing." Leah smiled warmly. "That's the spirit we hope to inspire. You've learned quickly and applied what you've learned. The council and settlers see it too." Jarek nodded. "And it's more than recognition. You've begun to embody the human spirit, adaptable, resilient, and compassionate. That's what sets us apart in the galaxy." Ilara's eyes sparkled. "Then what comes next?" Jarek looked toward the twin suns hanging low in the sky. "Next comes growth. Humans thrive by taking responsibility, learning continuously, and guiding others. Terra Nova is just the beginning. You've learned the basics, but now you'll help shape the future." The first task for the day was a planning session with the council. Ilara, once shy and uncertain, now participated confidently, offering insights on resource management, alien cooperation, and community development. Her suggestions were met with nods and approval. Jarek observed quietly, proud. She was no longer a student of humanity. She was a young leader applying human methods of reasoning, empathy, and collaboration to real-world challenges. During a break, Ilara turned to Jarek. "I never imagined that understanding humans could be so complex, but now I see it's not just about learning rules. It's about thinking like humans, adapting to circumstances, and guiding others." "You've understood something crucial," Jarek said. "Humans survive not because of strength or technology, but because we teach, cooperate, and inspire. That's what makes us special. And now, you're part of that strength." Ilara smiled, feeling a deep sense of belonging. Over the next weeks, Ilara continued to grow. She coordinated teams, mediated conflicts, and introduced small improvements to settlement life. She even began mentoring younger settlers, teaching them what she had learned about human adaptability, communication, and problem-solving. The council recognized her contributions, giving her official responsibilities. Jarek and Leah watched her rise, realizing that the young woman they had brought to Terra Nova was becoming a symbol of human capability and the power of guidance. One afternoon, as they walked along a forest trail, Jarek spoke softly. "Ilara, humans have always expanded into new worlds. But our greatest strength isn't technology or weapons, it's our mind, our heart, and our ability to teach others. You've learned that, and now you'll share it." Ilara nodded. "I want to help others, both humans and aliens. I want to continue learning and contributing. Terra Nova is just the start." "That's right," Jarek said. "Humans thrive when we grow together, and you're now part of that growth." Later that day, the settlement faced a minor crisis. A malfunction in the communication hub threatened to delay incoming supplies. Jarek, Leah, and Ilara rushed to the scene. Ilara immediately took charge, guiding humans and aliens to diagnose the problem. Acer,